Hey Pisces, this is Seth from Comingouttarot. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I love to help confirm where you are today and give you the steps you need to achieve the goals that you set out for yourself tomorrow. If you're not sure what those are, I can help you figure those out. And so what I'd like to do is, and this is something new for me, is walk through what the last week of September is going to look like. Eventually I want to do this for a month, so like for October. But just as an experiment, what's the last week of September going to look like, especially around your health, wealth, and your relationships? Whoops, we got a card. Hold on. I can't get a hold of it. It's too slippery. All right, Pisces. As with anything, if this resonates with you, please take it, run with it, work with it. Incorporate it into your week so that you can have a successful week, because that's what I'm looking for, helping you with. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Why? Because we all have different, well, we may have the same sun sign, and I'm a Taurus, but let's say there's a whole bunch of Pisces watching this. You have the same sun sign, but you have different risings and different moons. You were born at different times, in different places, and that causes an effect on your sun sign. So while this may resonate with a lot of Pisces, there are some other Pisces who it may not really touch, and that is because of the way the moon and the rising are affecting your sun. So don't worry about it. Come back in October if it doesn't resonate with you. See how it resonates then. Maybe I'll be connecting in stronger with your group of Pisces than I am with the one that I'm connecting in right now. So let's take a look at Pisces and figure out where conditions and energy are for Pisces last week of September, specifically around health, wealth, and relationships. We got two of these in here. All right. Ooh, Pisces, you've got, you were the only sign, Pisces, that didn't get a major arcana card. The only one. So no life lessons for you right now. You're just going in the day to day, getting stuff done. The other thing that's interesting to me is you're a little stuck in your head and a little emotional over your money. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So first, let's take a look at what these cards are. Here's health. This is Newt. She's the Mother of Swords. Wealth, Ten of Cups, and relationships, the Seven of Swords. This has been coming up in a lot of readings for people this week. So we're going to talk about this in a little bit of depth, possibly. Okay, so health. We're coming back to the Mother of Swords. For this, I would say, and I suppose this doesn't entirely surprise me around Pisces, Mother Sword shows up often, shows up a lot for me when I'm talking to or about nurses. Not necessarily emergency room nurses, but nurses, women who've gone through, or men who've gone through an education to serve others by taking care of their physical health. Now, Newt can also represent mental health, but right now this one's really tight for me on the physical. So in your physical health, how are you thinking? How is your thinking affecting your physical health? Are you in a state of just not thinking about your physical health? Are you thinking about it but not activating it? Or are you thinking about it and activating it? And is it becoming something that's become a bit of an ultra obsession to where it could be harmful? Newt can get like pretty stuck in her head, but ultimately she's pretty protective. So my guess is that it would not my guess, I know it wouldn't go towards the harmful side, but it could. That's the shadow side. It can get dangerous. It can get harmful because you go to the extreme of taking care of your physical health or thinking about your, like getting obsessed with your physical health in your brain. You're like, oh God, I didn't have my avocado today and now I'm gonna get fat. You know, it's that kind of like thinking that becomes obsessive to the point where it's not helpful and it is detrimental to your physical and mental health because it's not actually the right advice anymore. It's just become this thing that has to happen because you've said it must. Now, the positive side of Newt is that in caring for others and for herself, in particular, she cares more for others, but in doing so, she is caring for herself, because if she's nurturing the world around her, then she's also caring for herself. The challenge with Newt is that she doesn't seem to be an emotional person. Newt also often comes off as someone who has no emotions. So, if we're talking about emotional health alongside our physical and our mental health, the emotional health side of this, the EQ side of this, emotional quotient, is that you could be coming off as like, frigid's the wrong word because this isn't sexual, but it's like you don't care. Coming off as you don't care. Like, it's just, no, that's not my problem. I don't worry about it. When in fact you probably do, but you just don't have an opinion and it comes off as not caring. So I would encourage you in this last week of September to be thoughtful about how you're coming across to other people, because your emotional intelligence is important. And it's not just how you're coming across, but how you're interfacing, how you're interacting with them. On top of that, be careful that you don't get so obsessed with how you're approaching your physical health that you do harm to yourself by obsessing over it. Allow yourself to care for yourself in the best way possible by thinking about your physical health, but doing so in a way and in a manner that is reasonable, which Newt is really, really good at. You just have to be careful you don't cross the line. All right, moving on to wealth. This is the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups in this wealth spot, especially mirroring your element. Your financial situation is like sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, right? It feels exactly where it's supposed to be. You don't have to worry about it. Everything's totally fine. It's all taken care of. There's probably a little bit of worry back here somewhere in a corner where you're like, did I do that deposit? Yeah, it's automatic. It happens. I don't have to worry about it. We're like, oh, yeah, everything's fine. But you're in such an okay place financially at the end of September that you're also kind of like, it's one of those. So I feel like you can trust yourself. You can believe that what you've done is right and that you've taken care of yourself. However, if that twinge is there, then just double check yourself, and then you don't have to worry about it, and everything will be fine. I think it's also interesting to note here that you've got some financial options if you're married or partnered. So if you've got a husband, boyfriend, partner, whatever, then you have the opportunity to work with that partner in a way that will allow you to have some additional financial choices at the end of this week. Where some people have no choice financially, I think you can have some choices financially. And that could be anything ranging from houses to cars to investments to being able to buy a different set of groceries this week. Whatever fits your financial threshold. My voice is getting tired. Whatever fits your financial threshold, you'll have some choices at the end of the week, as long as you're being communicative with your partner, husband, partner, boyfriend, whatever, to make that happen. So speaking of, on the relationship side of things, communication isn't happening the way you want. In fact, you're probably battling over some stuff, and it's probably a bunch of obnoxious stuff that really, we all fight over stupid things. This doesn't feel like you're actually fighting over anything that is significant, especially since there's no major arcanas here. We're not going through any kind of life lesson. It's just quibbling over the day-to-day crap. So in the relationships that you're experiencing at the end of the month, you're going to have some arguments. If they're happening now, they're going to continue, and it's just going to be like needling, that annoying kind of stuff. How can you avoid that? I would say focus on the financial question, which seems counterintuitive. Money tends to always breed some kind of argument. If that's where your argument lies, maybe it's not best to have this conversation, but it could be approached from a different angle where you're saying, well, what if we made some different choices versus having a conversation like, we don't have any money because of that choice you made. Two different ways to approach, right? So communication is really, really key here. The communication isn't happening well at the end of the month with your husband, partner, boyfriend, whatever, but it can if you want it to, especially around the financial conversation. So, underlying all of this is what? 17. Ooh. I would encourage you to have the financial conversation. If you can come at it from a good angle that isn't really the needling, you always do this thing, so we never get to have choices, and we would if don't come at it that way. If you can come at it from a way where the both of you have opportunity as a couple to make some financial choices that can benefit you in the long run, then I would encourage you to do so. Because what's happening is you're in a place where that outcome is extremely positive. Extremely positive. So I encourage you to do so because you'll be creating a new and beneficial, abundant life for yourself. And that's pretty amazing. I hope this is helpful. If it is, leave me some comments below. I'd love to hear about it, about what's working, what may not be working, how your week went even. Let me know how it's going and how this has helped. I'd love to hear more about it. And if you'd like to find out more about me, you can always find out more about me in the information box below. There's ways to get in contact with me there, including going to Comingouttarot.com if you're interested in booking some time with me. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you next month.